1,663 in total appeared in the re-examination. That's also data.
The person who didn't appear got their original marks, opted to retain their original marks. That is the.
Now these 1563 are drawn from how many centers?
Lord, this they have not disclosed. They never disclose it, how many centers. They will answer it.
8 centers.
Eight
Throughout. And as my learned friend rightly pointed out, they were given an option to retain the earlier marks.
And
They
all
didn't
is,
take a
Lord,
chance. That
and
was
all is being done behind the curtain. Nothing was declared. Every day they have been giving press release, but with regard to this, there is not a single press release.
things which, if you can ask, if you can just make a note of these 4 points, Mr. Solicitor and Mr. Kaushik.
Yes.
One, how many centers, at how many centers were the Canara Bank papers distributed?
Yes.
At how many centers totally were Canara Bank question booklets distributed? 2, out of those centers, at how many centers were the correct question booklets replaced?
Yes.
At how many centers were the correct question booklets replaced, namely of the State Bank of India?
Yes.
Third, how many centers totally where the questions which were evaluated were the Canara Bank paper, the Canara Bank booklets?
Yes.
Whether there were any centers which were evaluated on the basis of the Canara Bank booklet?
Yes.
All right.
wrong paper was evaluated.
The paper was evaluated. And fourth, once the Canara Bank papers were evaluated, how did the candidates fare there?
There is the key which they have ever declared till date. Canara Bank.
Why have you not declared the key of the Canara Bank papers?
Yes.
Fifth,
Yes.
and finally, I want to know this, that before I formulate a question, suppose you and I go to Canara Bank or to State Bank of India and say, give me the question paper. You will not be given the question paper, right?
Correct.
How does Can Bank know that I'm the right person who is authorized to? So there has to be a letter of authorization.
Correct.
It's identity.
Right?
Yes.
Now, who issues the letter of authorization?
Yes.
Letter of authorization is issued by the district in charge.
NT.
Director General NT.
Director General of NTA.
NTA to the city superintendent as well as centers coordinators.
Now, what does a person take to the bank? Suppose I'm the center in charge.
Yes.
Will I have an authorization both for SBI and for Can Bank, or I'll have only one authorization? Just ask that.
Yes.
City coordinator is authorized. I'm sorry. Only city coordinator is authorized, not centers. He
So the
distributes
city
to.
coordinator is authorized to go to one of the two banks.
Yes.
Now, therefore, that authorization is given to the city coordinator when? When is that given to him?
In advance.
But is the authorization given for both the banks or only one bank?
I think should be for
Just
both
ask
banks
this question.
logically. For both the banks. Any from which bank? it is given, authorization is given 3 days prior to the exam
For both the banks.
for both the banks. Then
The
he is
city
informed-
coordinator.
He is informed in the morning that you go to one of these banks and collect.
5 o'clock.
Now, if the city coordinator, suppose city coordinator was told in the morning of the 5th that you have to go to SBI, right? Now, that city coordinator would have all the centers in that city will be under his control, right? Now, did the city coordinator in this case at Jhajjar go to the Can Bank and get Can Bank papers which were then distributed to all the centers in his jurisdiction, or some centers got SBI and some centers got
That will have to be.
He collected both.
Actually, will correct.
He collected both.
he collected both.
He collected both.
How did the how did the city coordinator collect both? I mean, city coordinator at Jhajjar, he should have gone only to SBI,
Only one bank.
right?
Yes.
Now, he went to Can Bank and he went to SBI both. Now, all the centers under him, did he distribute the Can Bank question paper?
Let's one center Can Bank paper was distributed, which was allowed to be continued. 2 centers, the question paper was distributed Can Bank, but it was withdrawn and SBI was given, that resulting in loss of time.
All Can banks distributed, 2 of them realized the mistake,
And
withdrew
Who
Can
did
Bank
realize the mistake?
yes,
out of the center coordinator.
No, but the center coordinator will.
Would not normally, no, we'll take
center
the.
superintendents are different. City coordinator is for all the 3 centers.
Right. So at Jhajjar, there were 3 centers,
Yes, please.
right? So he distributed the Can Bank paper to all 3?
All 3 initially. And let's in from 2, it was withdrawn and correct question paper was
But
distributed.
then why did he not withdraw it from 1?
That will have to, let's ask.
If he realized that he has made a mistake, he would have gone to all the 3 centers and said, look, I better give you the correct center. Why did
Time lapse may be the only reason. It was realized at the other center. By that time, maybe the time gap had gone beyond the reasonable time.
take instructions on that?
That's an assumption.
Yes, yes. We will take specific instructions. We'll prepare a note on all these 6 questions, minutes, and
You're right. Authorization will be given in advance. You can't give authorization in the morning. Then he's informed how? He's informed on his phone.
on what the minutes app, which is created for the purpose of
And
coordination.
who informs him?
There is an
The
NTA app.
Director General NTA will inform everyone across the country.
Yes, through the specific app created for this purpose of
That will be informed at 8 o'clock or so in the morning.
5 o'clock in the morning.
5 o'clock.
There is an
And he
application.
was informed, go to the SBI.
Yes, please.
He went to both.
Yes.
But is Can Bank not informed that, look, your paper now don't distribute? Director General NTA would be informing the Can Bank that, look, your paper is not to be distributed. And he would inform SBI that only your paper is to be distributed, right?
Message goes to both the custodian as well as the city coordinator.
Then how did Can
Where the
Bank
lapse has
distribute? Then
taken-
how did Can Bank
Yes.
distribute it?
Where the lapse has taken place, we'll find out minutes and
There appears to be a lapse.
Right.
yes, the lapse is there.
Lord, there is another blunder. Hardayal school, in the first instance, despite the Canara Bank paper was given, allowed to be attempted, they gave grace marks to the students who appeared in the Hardayal school. And because of grace marks, 2 of the 8 students who came in the first
So
topper.
Hardayal school, where the Can Bank paper was distributed,
Yes,
students were given grace.
they gave grace marks.
Why?
And the evidence of grace marks is, out of the 2 students in the first 8 from the Hardayal school, they got 718 and 719 marks. When we questioned that how come anybody get this marks, they say it is because of grace marks. Otherwise, it's not possible.
So grace marks were given in Hardayal school.
Even for Hardayal school, because on 4th of June, there was only 1 key.
So grace marks were given totally for 1563 students, right?
That's right. For all students, Lord, I believe.
No, not schools.
Thereafter, all these students were put in a re-examination. How, if Canara Bank paper was given and it was to be evaluated, where is the question of first giving them grace marks and then withdrawing the grace marks and putting them to again a retest?
It was a mistake which was corrected and retest. Now
Lord,
that's all.
how do I give a
Let's
grace
argue
to
for
Canara
retest
Bank,
of the entire country
students?
based
Let
on
them answer
two
this.
instances.
Why did you give grace marks to the Canara Bank students?
No, it was not given to the.
Yes,
Canara
Whenever
Bank.
they were,
One second.
whenever Canara
Who
paper
got
was,
the grace mark? Which body of students got the grace marks?
wherever Canara Bank's paper, the wrong paper, I'll use it, wrong paper, was initially given, taken back, and a new paper was given,
Grace marks.
resulting into the time not being available, grace marks were given.
So, do we understand you right? That grace marks were not given to those students who had appeared for the Canara Bank booklet, but who had completed the entire booklet.
Yes,
Yes.
yes,
They were not given.
no, not.
So grace marks were given to only those students to whom a wrong booklet was given and it was withdrawn. Is
Yes.
that right? Is that clarity?
Yes,
Lord, I will falsify the stand just now. Their response to my note at page 19, they have reproduced a table where grace marks have been given. In that table, the center 230701 Haryana Jhajjar Hardyal School, they say that grace marks have been given. Please check it. This is what they have filed before this honorable court.
And 287.
Well,
Also.
And 287.
So Hardyal school is a situation where the students attempted only the Can Bank paper.
Correct. And they,
But did any student at Hardyal school get grace marks?
they got a grace marks. Lord. So this is how they have conducted.
1 second. Mr. Kaushik,
Yes, please.
did students at Hardyal school also get grace marks?
This is what it is.
I'll take specific clarification.
Just find out.
It's a systemic failure.
फिर उसको कैसे rework कैसे किया उसको?
Even only for Hardyal school, not the other two schools. Let them. Lord,
For
find
the
out.
reason, I'll clarify.
Only in Hardyal school grace marks.
Grace marks were given where?
Grace marks were given only to Hardyal school.
Yes.
Just it's not, they are trying to misrepresent facts without knowing the clear picture.
That's why we are absolutely with an open mind. We wanted to disclose. I mean,
Yes, which I am instructed to say suffered loss of time despite the fact that they attempted Canara Bank question paper.
why don't you do this in the afternoon? Just give us on a piece of paper the correct position and
Yes.
give them a copy so we understand where
Correct.
we stand.
I'll
So we are
prepare
not
a
just
note.
taking down
Lord,
something they are saying, something they are
let
saying. We
let
don't
them,
want to-
Lord,
we
let
don't
them
want-
correctly
So-
understand it.
One second. Let him say, let him say,
Yes,
clarify.
a neat
But you
note.
put it down on one sheet of paper by the
Yeah,
afternoon, so
yes.
we'll then take it as a statement.
Correct.
Because then I don't want later on,
no.
applications that you
Yes,
recorded
ma'am.
wrongly.
There may be in the haste, there may be some confusion because they are jumping on.
So Hardyal school grace marks were given.
Yes, the other
Grace marks were given only in Hardyal school? or-
only in Hardyal minutes. Because I am told the reason is that in the other schools, grace period, that is time of loss, was compensated by the center itself. Extra time was given to them, as a result whereof they did not suffer any loss of time.
No, but tell us something. In
individual
Hardyal
situations-
school, the paper was replaced with the correct paper later on?
I am told that both the papers happened to be given. After the confusion, the SBI paper was withdrawn and Canara Bank paper was allowed to be continued.
That's a fact.
In Hardyal school?
Yes, minutes. That
So
is what
that means in Hardyal school, all students wrote the Can Bank paper.
all
right?
vote can
Be
be.
firm, put
Yes.
it on a piece of paper
Yes,
so
we
that there
will
is a
On
response.
a piece of paper.
Not just
We will,
to,
yes.
just to,
And
Malad,
all students wrote the Can Bank paper at Hardyal school. Why were they given grace marks?
What we will do is, we will prepare the city wise where this happened and center wise. Why the different
Give
treatment?
it to us in the
Yeah,
afternoon. We
we
want
will
to
do.
understand.
Yes, we will.
only one thing, Malad, just to put
Were papers replaced and under whose orders were the papers continued?
Yes.
Was NTA monitoring this from Delhi or what happened?
It is monitored from Delhi Millets, and Millets communication did
So
not,
did Delhi get to know in the morning that, look, the wrong paper has been disputed with these
what
guys?
time it came to the knowledge and what time the communication,
tell us.
because Millets, large number of centers.
Alright, you tell us in the
8,
afternoon.
not large number.
Now, Mr. Huda, you have to wrap up.
Sir,
fast.
But in fact, I'm not allowed to proceed by the other side.
Only one thing,
I
Manoj,
was
just
on
to put
Hardyal
things
school.
in
There are
perspective.
20 questions on Hardyal school itself.
Manoj,
They have
only-
made 4
only a
statements with
minute,
regard.
only a
Let
minute.
me show.
Only a minute. But my learned friend is arguing that the entire country's examination is vitiated and therefore there should be a retest. My Lord, giving examples of some mistakes
No,
here or
that's
there
a
out
systemic failure,
of
Lord.
4,570 may not, my Lord, serve his purpose of assisting them.
I'm saying there is a systemic failure, and I'm sequentially demonstrate that how the
You
system
don't come out
was so
of Jajjar
brittle
yet. You
and
come out
fragile,
Jajjar, then
which
Haryana,
was
then go to
weak
India.
at the whims and fancies of these invigilators and city center operators who are private individuals, got nothing to do with the government. With regard to Jajjar, I'm just closing Jajjar. I want to say, in the first response, they said Hardyal school Canara paper was given. They attempted Canara paper. They evaluated Canara paper. No grace marks were given. This is their stand just now. They have changed it right now. With regard to the other 2 centers, they say there was a loss of time, and that is why grace marks were given. Just now they said it. Now they have again said it with regard to those 2 centers. No grace marks were given. Extra time was given then and there. Who took the decision? My lords have rightly asked the question. Now, with regard to Hardyal school, just 2 fact I want to bring to my lord's notice. A student who got 719 marks in Hardyal school with grace marks, they were given re-examination along with this 1563. The same student had, earlier the rank was 68 with 719 marks out of 720. Now the rank is 58,413. With regard to the student who got 718 in the same Hardyal school, where the rank was 69, after re-examination, the rank is 38,497. Now they do not know whether Canara Bank was given or initially SBI was given. On 4th of June, they declare one result, that is SBI result. There is no separate key. They did not even disclose on 4th of June that there was loss of time. And that loss of time we have compensated with grace marks. This they had to come out with only when they were confronted with 719 marks and 718 marks, because this is not numerically possible with the number of marks and negative marking. Then they said, now, in the entire country, what they do is, this NTA has collected about 400 crore rupees from the students. Thereafter, I give example of Seeker now, which is data-wise very important. Seeker has 49 centers in all. Out of 49 center, one is only one center is this Kendriya Vidyalaya. Rest 48 centers are, my lord, all private school, self-financed private schools. All their city coordinator, invigilators, superintendent are all private individuals whom NTA issue checks of 2,000 rupees a day or 2,500 or 1,500 rupees. Now, because this honorable court is kind enough to allow me to argue this case because so many people have come to assist me. They've shown me photographs of the school, private school in a village where this exam is being conducted. It doesn't even have a boundary wall. Now, I have not gone through their entire process. I will not call it as a SOP. Now, that indicates that at 5:20, the paper is collected by the invigilator. And the OMR sheet is taken. OMR sheet is taken. Now, what is the time when this OMR sheet is to be sealed? It's nowhere prescribed. It remains in the center. We have spoken even to the center vigilators. Either 2-3 hours, it keep lying in every center with the center superintendent. And then they have to deposit it somewhere where all the OMR sheets are collected. Like for seeker, there is one place where OMR sheets are ultimately collected in one center. There is no procedure NTA prescribed that 5:20 this OMR sheet is collected. Then 5:30 it should be sealed in the presence of the students. Because they have trained these invigilators across the country.
Then what time do they get deposited with the centralized deposit?
There is no time given, my lord. Let them file a specific affidavit if they are ever in black and white.
How soon after the examination concludes at 5:50?
Blood, it is
the sealing process taking place?
Blood, they say that it is 8:30 to 9 o'clock. Ultimately, it gets deposited with the city center.
But before
what
that,
time
when
is
does
the
sealing takes place?
Blood, this I could not find in their entire SOP. I have placed it before the solver.
That's the point.
So, blood, I would say I will show the data.
Now, Mr. Huda, please go to
Blood,
the
I'm coming to the data, blood.
Please come to it.
Yes. Now, Lord, after analyzing the data, what we find, there are certain centers which are doing exceedingly well. It's not the students, that the centers are doing exceedingly well. Like Lord, Kota and Seeker both have almost equal number of students appearing. Centers, Lord. And 6 centers, Lord, adjoining to Rajasthan, which falls in Haryana. That's a Mahendragarh, Bhiwani. Rewari, Mahendragarh, Bhiwani. And now, Lord, may kindly see this. There are 2 factors.
What I've taken down is that quota and sticker centers had broadly equal number of students appearing. Students getting more than 650 marks.
Yes,
Across the
let me straight away show those charts, my lord.
38 out of 50 are from Sikar alone, 6 in Mahendragarh, Rewari and Bihar.
Correct, Lord.
Now show us the chart.
Yes, my lord. My lord, may kindly permit me to refer to my second supplementary note.
You have just given today. No?
Yes, my lord, which was filed, my lord.
Page.
My lord, first annexure, page 13 is their SOP, which I said that there is no time given for sealing after OMR is collected. Then, my lord, the data of top 50 centers, my lord, that is page 101, annexure C. But before that, my lord, allow me to show one more chart at page 100 for a moment, my lord. This again, they have to answer it, my lord, if they can answer it post lunch. The difference in the data declared on 4th of June and 20th of July, page 100, my lord, may kindly see this table. My lord, just see Bihar,
Just one second.
page 100, my lord. That's right. Mismatch in the result published on 4th of June 2014 and 20th of July 2024. 4th of June 24 and 20th of July 24.
Yes.
Lord, just see Bihar at serial number 4. As per 4th of June, registered were 1,54,000, appeared 1,49,000 something, qualified 74,743. Now the data on 20th of July. Appeared student 1,36,000. The difference is 13,000.
Right.
And Lord, this difference is appearing almost everywhere. And we will respond to that after they respond to it.
4th of June and 20th July, the number of students comes down.
Correct.
Appeared students.
That's right. Lord, Rajasthan, Lord, may kindly see specifically Rajasthan also for this.
There is something plus also like Tamil Nadu. There.
Yes.
Rajasthan is plus 18,000.
Yes. Now, my lord, what happens? My lord, let me explain it.
1200.
Let me, my lord, explain it for a moment. What happens is, in their system, if I am a resident of Rohtak, Haryana, if I fill up an address of Tamil Nadu, I want to go to Sikar. I can simply fill up my address, some address of Sikar, and they will treat me as a student of Sikar. And I will get a center somewhere in Sikar. People have gone from Godhra, Gujarat to Karnataka, Belgaum. One incident is a girl who got 705 marks on 4th of June. She got failed in 12th class and she's getting 31 out of 100 chemistry and so on and so forth. People have traveled from Odisha, Karnataka to Godhra. And Lord, with regard to this, one professor wrote an email which I have placed on record a month before, that this is a scam happening.
How many students had, would we know what their original place is?
Well, Lord, what happens is they do not connect it with Aadhaar card or any proof of residence. They open their system. They say you fill up the address of your residence, whatever you feel like, and we will treat it to be your residence address, and we will allocate you center as per the address you give it here. Absolutely no system in place to verify that.
So, are you contending? Suppose I'm a student, I'm ordinarily residing in Delhi. When I fill up my form online, I can choose a center, say in Sikar, or I can fill out a center in somewhere in Tamil Nadu or Kerala. Any?
But I am free to give whatever address I want.
Showing us by showing some residence over there.
Not even showing, filling it up. Just I need to type it
At
and
what point of time do they verify whether you are actually a resident of that?
at
country?
no stage, my lord, may kindly note it.
A student can choose a center in any part of the country of
Any
their
part of
life,
the country.
and you don't have to submit any document.
Absolutely no proof, my lord. And there is an email, if I can straight away invite some lord kind attention to that email for a moment. Professor email,
It's not a change of center, but choice of center.
choice of page 190 of my lord, this my lord may kindly permit me to,
Writing an email that there is a scam.
no.
All right, so Mr. Solicitor, just tell us this later on when your turn comes.
Yes.
Argument is that a student can choose a center of their liking anywhere in the country by saying, I reside there.
Yes, sir.
Does the student at any point of time of the registration process have to produce any documentary material to indicate that they are residents of that place?
I'll
like an
answer
Aadhaar
that.
card?
I'll answer that, but when I
whatever.
give the figures of seeker, he's taking on seeker, I'll be able to justify the success rate has gone down, but we'll be able to show that. Now, let me come to my place. Look, I can't go
How
by.
does it work when a center is sought by a student? Student applies for a center or city when you submit an application for it?
City.
City. Now,
Center
when a
is not.
student applies for a city, does NTA require the student to upload any document?
Just followed inquire and Malod.
Absolutely.
Or does that student just choose a city anywhere in the country?
Correct.
Let them verify.
Correct. My lord, I just want to point out an email, like my lord would remember, Kaka College had written them with regard to Godhra a month earlier. In their, they did not act on it. In their reply, they say now they have marked this college Kaka email to some competent authority to look into it. Now, with regard to this, allow me, my lord, to refer to this email at page 190.
Shows the data. You passed that already before yesterday.
My lord,
That was true.
yes,
You can-
yes, my lord, I'm coming back. My lord, I'm already on the tables, my lord.
Show us that.
My lord, I'm already on the tables. My lord, may,
Read a PhD thesis.
my lord, may kindly see.
Part of the
Yes. My lord, I was page 100. My lord, I'm showing this data. I was at page 100 to demonstrate.
Ultimately, up to now, we have dealt with Hazaribagh, we have dealt with Patna, we have dealt with,
This
Bhadur
all will
Garden.
demonstrate.
No, my lord,
Yeah,
give me some time.
submission is-
My friend has taken a long, I have no quarrel. I have to attend some other matter. I'll be grateful. I will only take 10 minutes.
That is between you and-
That I am 10 minutes. My lord,
Allow me-
my lord, if you go by seniority, I am 66, I am senior. But we have followed a different rule. I have no quarrel.
No. That-
I have no quarrel.
By every
Yes.
standard, Mr.
No, Mr. Tushar Mehta, you're only 59. Junior to me in bar and age. Yes. Please don't insult seniors. But my lord, I only take 10 minutes.
Second, any group matter, one person leads.
No, my lord, I only take 10 minutes, my lord.
We are also. we
No,
are-
because I believe that he is,
Second, Mr. Nedumbara, it would be wrong to say that he has taken time. We are also.
no, I'm not blaming anybody, my lord. I am only requesting 10 minutes to be given to me.
Next time.
Then my lord, I relieve me. That's all. 10 minutes to me. 10 minutes to me, my lord, if I can, before lunch, my lord, I have another matter to be, I'm taking adjournment after adjournment, Madras High Court, I want to appear online.
All right.
So 10 minutes.
I was page 100, the table, just to demonstrate the mismatch. And this is for them to explain that how the number of candidates who appeared in a particular state has gone down from the result declared on 4th of June to the result declared on 20th of July. Then, my lord, at page 101, annexure C is the list of top 50 centers, which indicates, my lord, that how these centers are concentrated in seeker.
Result of heart, this is very important. Just
Ye-
one second.
yes.
Let's go closely on this. Yes.
Lord, I have given the center code, number of student appeared, how many students above 700, then the percentage of 700 plus, above 650, percentage of above 650, above 600, percentage of above 600, and then above 550. I have gone only up to above 550. Now, this will show a concentration.
Where?
The concentration here is, my lord, primarily seeker. My lord, may kindly see this. Rajkot, there is one station at Rajkot, my lord, where the total number of student is 1968. Center code, where 12 students above 700. Hmm? 115 above 615. There is something special with Rajkot, this center code. That's fine. That will it seeker after Rajkot. 1,000 students, 8 are above 700.
9 or above?
And then, my lord, my lord, I'm on next item, a seeker Rajasthan. Out of 1,001 student appearing, 8 above 700, then 69 above 650, and 115 above 600. And then, my lord, 241 above 550. And Lord, also kindly keep it in mind, city coordinators are the owners of these schools, and these are private schools. And the invigilators are the employees of these private schools. And the possibility cannot be ruled out that these teachers are not in league with the coaching centers, my lord, which are operating in Kota and Sikar.
Are what? Are the city coordinators are government employees or they're private
They
employees?
are principals of the particular school, which is.
Private
the
schools,
center.
my lord.
Sorry,
Principal of the school where the center is located.
Private schools.
city coordinators.
City coordinator.
Yes, ma'am.
So it would be a
City-
city coordinator.
It's completely privatized.
Principal of CBSE school is the city coordinator.
No, there is in Sikar, there is no CBSE school. There is only one, this Kendriya Mahavidyalaya. 48 are the private schools. my lord. And CBSE affiliated, not CBSE run.
They are all CBSE schools.
CBSE affiliated school.
But they are CBSE affiliated schools, not CBSE run schools.
Top 50, you are saying that there is a concentration of seeker.
Correct, my lord. Kindly see this table, my lord. It shows all Sikar. 38 of them, my lord. Not a coincidence, my lord. And I'm sure, my lord, consistently, even the last year also,
Seeker.
these, my lord, even last year also and last to last year also, this seeker must be doing well for the reason. Because all these private schools, my lord, they are together, CPSC affiliated or Rajasthan board affiliated. Now, one of them is a city coordinator. Rest are the invigilator. And my lord,
But tell us, Mr. Huda, assuming that that is so, I mean, can that be a ground to cancel the entirety of the exam all over the country? Or two, to cancel the exam for seeker as a
no, my
whole?
lord, what I say, I bow down.
There be sure a retest for
My
seeker.
lord,
Can
what
we-
I humbly submit
There's
is,
sufficient data in itself.
If
Lord,
all
what-
over the country,
Lord, what
there are
I humbly-
6 people per 1,000 who get above 600 all over the country. That's the average. And in each place in Seeker, you get 75, you get 80. That's
So just let's see this, what you
The
have
country
completed
average.
over here.
please,
It's
the
so-
reference value is the country average.
वो डाउनलोड करके पहले उसको भी मैग्नीफाई मेरे को दिखने में
Lord.
नहीं दिखता।
my lord, what I humbly submit is,
A paper copy of that page.
Words only.
yes, my lord, it's there, my lord.
Less than 10.
15 दे दिया. Give 3. This is not 100, 500 and above. This is not with regard to. हाँ.
पूरे इतने नहीं.
It's about this percentage. Good, Mr. Hegde, about what?
6 people per 1,000. That's 0.6%. Is on an average, that's the national. That should be the reference value. Now, if your lordship takes the first one in Rajasthan, or see the Vidya Bharati Public School, let us see how many of them have gotten. So above 550, which gets you a state, there are 241 students who have got above 550
Out of 1,000.
out of 1,000 students. 1 in 4 students.
Lord, this is alluding towards systemic failure. And all these people are not from Seeker. They have come from all over the country. They are not people who have taken coaching from Seeker.
How do you
Because
say
of this systemic
how do you
failure.
say that they have not taken coaching from?
I
Don't
do
make
not
such-
know
I mean,
because if I
then you
compare
should
it,
Not, no, don't make
hold on
statements.
please. If I compare it with Kota is the coaching
Quota
hub.
and seeker are education
And Lord,
hubs.
yes,
People from
now
students from
and
all
the
over
number
the
of
country
students appeared
stay
in
there. There are
Kota.
hostels,
Where
PG
is the-
accommodations.
where is the-
It's a coaching cluster. So don't say that they are not from. They are not.
Belgavi, my lord, in Karnataka is not a coaching hub where a girl goes from Anjali Patel, goes from Gujarat to Belgavi. She fails, she appears in 12th class standard in Gujarat because she's from Gujarat. She failed, but she went all the way to Belgavi, got 705 marks. And Lord, what I'm told is the CBSE syllabus of 12th is completely in align with the syllabus of NEET examination. So it's not possible somebody getting 31 in botany out of 100 and getting 700.
Have you shown data from that center in Belgavi where she appeared? Were the people getting high marks unusually large at that center?
Lord, there are.
You must show us.
Lord, I will. If I will show all these tables in seriatim, Lord, I will show that. So, Lord, this table at 101 indicates there is a heavy tilt for seeker because there is a systemic malaise. which has worked in favor of the students appearing in these centers in Sikar. And we cannot separate the tainted from the untainted. And all these private people, the person who is doing videography, I give just one example here. Their emphasis is that we videograph everything at all these centers, though they are private people. In Savai Madhopur, may I have Milord's attention just for a moment? Their emphasis is that though all these are private people, all the city coordinators, invigilators, but our CCTV monitoring is so robust that we catch them. In case of Savai Madhopur, it is their own case that a wrong question paper was distributed in a different language. And the question started at 2 p.m. They got to know, this is on record, and their reply on record to say that we got to know that wrong question paper has been given in Savai Madhopur, Rajasthan at 4:30 from the social media. They are on affidavit to say this. If
How do you establish, we made this point about Sikar, etc. How do you establish that the paper leak, according to you, has spread all over the country? What is the material for you to indicate?
On that, I'm on a second point now. So far as paper leak is concerned,
Part of this case is the paper leak. right?
Not only that, my lord. My very predominant argument besides paper leak is their systems are so fragile, which are being consistently compromised because everybody is private. They are issuing just checks in the name of some videographer sitting in Delhi, some coordinator in the city who are the owners of the private school and the principals. They have absolutely no check.
Tell us one thing. We'll ask you something frankly. Are you challenging the result of this NEET, or are you appealing for people who don't want the NEET at all?
No, no, Lord. What I'm pointing out that this NTA, the way it is holding this examination can't be sustained for the reason that there is absolutely no system in place. Lord, as I was pointing out, just allow me a moment on here.
But you also far-fetched to say that there is.
Lord, let me show you. Lord,
If they have loopholes, we will address them. They're
but
going to
Lord, the
ask them.
loopholes are being exploited on the face of it. The data is being shown.
Oh, you have to show us that there is a systemic destruction of the sanctity of the
Lord, on that,
cross India.
one thing, Lord,
Now you have basically concentrated on Hazaribagh, you have concentrated on Patna, you have shown us some examples
I
from
have shown.
Bahadurgarh, what happened in Bahadurgarh.
let me
Now
let
you
me
are seeing
Lord,
one
quickly.
student from
what is
Gujarat goes to Belgavi and gets
Lord,
associate
what is
space.
the
Where have you demonstrated before us a
systemic
systemic
failure?
space?
Lord, what is this systemic failure and what is the malaise in this system which they have adopted for this examination? If I count them Lord, quickly, one is the time gap after the OMR sheets are taken and the time being deposited. It is in the private hands where there is no time fixed for sealing it, and in whose presence these OMR sheets are being sealed. I'm alluding toward a systemic failure that, Lord, here in Sikar, Mahendragarh, wherever this concentration is happening, the OMR sheets are being consistently tampered with after the exam is over. Lord, as is being suggested by the government of India, that the question paper could be sold in 1 hour and in another hour, the students could do it. In the same manner, after taking the OMR sheet at 5:20, the entire staff in the college, which is a private school and all private invigilators, they have the question paper with them. And they have 2-3 hours with them. What prevents them from filling up the OMR sheets and then depositing it with the city center? So it is this loophole which is being exploited here in Sikar and all these centers, Lord, which are a shining star in the entire sky. Belgavi, Lord, why a girl who failed in Gujarat goes all the way to Belgavi? Lord, the reason is this, not only paper leak. Lord, I'm on a next point.
Now tell us that girl who went to Belgavi, all right, we'll take it as a prima facie suspicious case.
Yes, sir.
The center where she appeared from,
Yes.
what is the performance of that center?
Yes, Lord, I have that.
6%
Huh?
success ratio and 7% success ratio. And Belgaum,
Lord,
2% success
Lord,
rate.
about
I
8
showed those
people
figures.
are, Lord, Belgavi is not a coaching center. Lord, the one reason,
not a
Lord,
coaching
the third thing I want to allude to,
Centers in Sikar, how many centers in Sikar?
Sikar is 49 centers.
How many students in Sikar?
Yes, the total number of, yes, Lord, we have the data. Huh? 27,000. Lord, this is, just allow me, Lord. Total number is 27,216.
Students.
That's right, Lord. 49 centers. Lord, it is at page 10.
27,216 students from Sikar.
That's right.
How many students, what is the cutoff to be in the first 1,08,000?
About
If
580.
your lordships can give me only 5 minutes to show my charts, Lord, that
Lord,
might answer most of your lordships'
Lord,
questions.
I'm
Rather than
I'm-
going all
Lord,
around.
I'm on a complete, Lord, just allow me to
All
complete.
right, 27,216 students. Just tell us.
8,000 of them have got above 500.
How many?
8,225 have got above 500.
Yes, Lord. Lord, this is the
None of
data
them
at
will
page
get it.
103. Lord, this data is there at page 103. Lord, may kindly just see this.
Now tell us, Mr. Solicitor, what would be the cutoff for broadly for the 1,08,000, the last
yes,
student
yes,
to be in the zone of admission to a medical college?
Yes.
What would be the cutoff?
Varies from state to state.
Cutoff is not different.
Varies from state to state. But
No, no.
if you've got above around 600, you're reasonably safe that you will get
No,
something.
no, my lord, my learned friend is,
It will vary from state to state because state domicile comes in.
I'll just, my lord, I have put that figure also. If you are having marked 600, you will stand at 81,000 in first 81,000. I have given, my lord, each wise 60, 600, 605, etc., etc. I'll show, my lord. So a person getting 600 will, in all probability, will not get in at least government medical college, for the simple reason that though we are counting 50%, total seats are 1,08,000. 50% would be, my lord, one half. But from that 50%, 50% will go for SC, ST, OBC and EWS reservation. So merit candidates seats would be available would be 25,000. I have, my lord, given, my lord, we have done the analysis from various angles to show what is the impact, if at all, at the national level, city level and the center level.
Lord,
That Sikar have the largest concentration of students. Sikar has 49 centers.
Yes. But Seeker center-wise also we have done.
And
Lord,
is
quota, let me
there
compare it with quota.
district in the country which has more centers than Sikar, which is in the country-wise.
I'll not do that.
Can you tell us which is the district which has the largest number of centers?
Lord, quota, Lord, I'm just giving quota as
But-
comparing,
but, Lord,
because
what
Lord,
we have
quota is
analyzed
the
is,
coaching
only-
hub.
Only a minute. What we have analyzed is city-wise, including seeker, quota, and other, my lord, things which are, my lord, being discussed. We have examined how many students appeared in 2022 and what was the success rate. Similar exercise for 23 and similar exercise for 24. In fact, 24 for seeker, the success rate has gone down. I'll be able to show that, my lord. We have
But-
compared it with
Lord,
22.
I am,
23, 24. It
But
is
I'm not-
around 19%.
Lord, if they can
success
respond
rate is
in one go
19%.
and I
Yeah.
complete it. Lord, what I'm alluding to is there is a systemic failure in the manner the NEET is examined. One, I said the no address verification, that is why student can go from,
There are two ways of looking at this problem. You all came here because of paper leak. There's no escape from the fact that, yes, there has been a
paper leak.
paper leak. Is it your argument that the systemic failure which you are talking about now led to paper leak?
No.
So therefore, today we are trying to understand, we are trying to look into to what extent this leak precipitated in the entire country. If it is a case of systemic failure, that stands on a different footing
Yes.
because these are two different things. It is because of this paper leak, you are now able to demonstrate before us various irregularities, illegalities. Maybe, you may be right. But at this point of time, digressing from the issue of paper leak, to what extent can we now go into the question of systemic failure? Because we are trying to examine whether this leak led to that girl securing 705 marks at Belaguri despite failing in 12th standard. Let us address the issue in this manner, whether these candidates at Sikar who have performed exceedingly well, is it because of that paper leak?
I bow down.
There are
I
two-
quite
two
understand.
compartments.
These are two compartments.
There are two
So far as
compartments.
paper
One
leak is
talks
concerned.
about paper leak and to what extent the students took advantage of that leak.
Let me answer your lordship's question.
Please take your seat, Mr. Nedumbara. These are bad manners, bad manners. I am not very sophisticated like my Lord, the Chief Justice. You may feel bad. Please, please. 3 times I have said, please, quiet. We have 2 minutes to go. We are making Mr. Huda understand what is going on in our mind so that he can respond after recess. Therefore, you come to your note.
Please.
You come to your note, paragraph 8.
Yes, my lord. They know,
That's the heart. That's the heart of your case.
Where you say that
Just
there's a
read
leak
Just
has gone to other states. Where is there to, what is there any contemporary evidence to indicate that the leak went to
Not-
other states?
Lord, the only thing on that I can say on paper leak is, Lord, so far as direct evidence of this crime is concerned, that is the file is before this honorable court, matter is being investigated. As petitioners who are not privy to the investigation, either by the Bihar police or now by the CBI, all we can rely on is a circumstantial evidence. In the circumstantial evidence,
Therefore, falling back on an alternative hypothesis that because of the systemic flaws in the process, therefore the credibility of the examination must have been breached in other
I'm
states.
so grateful.
That's your.
So
That's
your
my
view.
case. On that,
So
Lord, I have
therefore,
just 4 or 5
we have
things to
no
highlight.
evidence. We do not have evidence to show that there was a leak in other states. But because of these flaws in the examination process, therefore it's likely that the
This
sanctity of the
inflation.
examination, and you have pointed out 3 aspects: time gap between the conclusion of the examination and the sealing of the OMR sheets, and absence of an SOP. 2, staff at the college may well tamper with the OMR sheets without depositing them. 3, there is no address verification of the center chosen by the student.
That's
These
right.
are the 3 aspects.
That's right. Now, Lord, and
Anything else now what remains for you?
because of,
We'll have to call upon the others. now.
yes, I'm so grateful. And Lord, it is because of this that there is an evidence, and they maybe put to the question this, that how people from Gujarat going to Bellary, how people from Odisha, Karnataka, Maharashtra coming to Godhra, and how people from Bihar, if this investigation is carried out, my lord, would find people from Bihar have gone to Muktsar, Punjab. If these addresses are checked, that will show
But
that
then
there are.
This girl, instead of going to Belaguri, could have
Yeah.
given to any of these sensitive.
She could have chosen, Lord, probably this is a connection. She got a connection.
Why did she have to
I
do
asked you, that center at Belgavi, does it have any, does it show any untoward result?
Lord, it is there. Lord, this Belgavi, this is 8R plus 700 and 71R plus 650. I have not the chart. I will give it post lunch.
Also, Mr. Huda, in many professional examinations, I don't want to name them, otherwise this will become another national story tomorrow. That, in many professional examinations, students do choose centers in a particular zone or whatever, because there's a perception that the marking on the curve is a little more lenient or a little more strict in certain centers. And you not mention those examinations. That may be,
Lord,
that may not
here-
be, that may
Lord,
not be
here the-
strong evidence to cancel a whole examination per se.
Lord, this one.
These systemic flaws which you have pointed out, we'll put to the solicitor, because these obviously have to be tightened up. Because they have to be tightened up. But as of now, I don't think you have indicated to us, and we'll give you now 5 minutes and we'll conclude your argument after lunch. So we'll hear the others and then wrap up.
5 minutes after lunch.
After lunch, 5 minutes.
grateful.
So that you can conclude, now summarize what you
That's
have
fine.
argued in 5 minutes, and then we will go on to the
Great.
next person.
Your lordship will give me a little time. A little time, not much.
Sorry?
Your lordships will give me a little time, not much.
And they've also got marks and so changing of the answers.
There are several things I
Anybody who now wants to follow will have to give something over and above what has been argued.
Please.
Mr. Huda has taken up
Please.
the entire
Please.
record now.
But after lunch, your lordship will give me 10, 15 minutes, then I'll relieve me, my lord.
I
I wanted to say something which is not,
I might even take it.
something which they haven't said.
We'll come back after.
Your lordships, may I please mention items 12 and 35?
Come back after.
to think in terms of a medical analogy. And the analogy I was given was that when you suspect cancer, the tests are inconclusive. Then what you do is, as a matter of precaution, to go into chemotherapy. You cannot take the risk of letting the cancerous substances metastasize. That is where the real problem is. Today, my lords, at a stage of incomplete investigation, if your lordships were to say that, look, so far you have shown us only Hazaribagh, Patna, we do not know exactly where it is going. Do we ask a whole host of people, maybe 24 lakh, maybe 13 lakh, maybe 2 lakhs, to rewrite the exam? What if your lordships were to turn us all down and say that, no, they have given adequate justification? What your lordships at today's date will not be aware as to how many cells or how many persons got into the system. And each government seat is a case of the government spending about 1 crore per year per medical student. So at about 25,000 government seats in the general category, my lords, I also represent students who have got 690, 640 and all that. They will get a seat somewhere. But what they are not assured of is that they have got a fair rank. They are not. And after having taken your lordships through the student perspective, my lords, please look at the institutional perspective. Please look at NTA's constant responses to your lordships. If the NTA had been a serious examination agency, it would have been most concerned about the integrity of the process. But what did it do? On the 5th itself, when it was told that the paper had leaked, and on the 5th, if it had taken a decision that, look, once there is a leakage of a paper, we find it unsafe. And supposing they had taken that decision and we were challenging it, saying, look, it leaked only in one place. How can you scrap an entire exam? Would your lordships have found an outrageous defiance of logic in that decision? I'm turning the question around.
Yes.
The NTA continued to deny the fact that there was a leak. It did not cooperate with the Bihar police. Apparently, the EOU even wrote them letters. They did not immediately cooperate. My lords, there were special circumstances this year. In May and June, everybody was preoccupied with the elections. Nobody was possibly there to guide them. It is quite possible that the administrative agency thought, just let the thing blow over, or let whoever comes in guide us. Continually, they kept denying, and it was only when your lordships asked questions that then came that little thing that, yes, we did give grace marks, but we can redo it by a retest for some 1563 students. At that stage also, if they had looked at their own data, if today they have not been transparent, they haven't given the full data. In fact, all the data that Mr. Huda has so painstakingly given your lordships has been after we were served with about 4,500 PDF files. That had to be run through, data had to be extracted, and we can see some hotspots. Whether they are hotspots, whether they are red flags, that is for them to explain. Then, my lords, the NTA continues to be in denial. It's only as late as the 22nd of June that changes are made in personnel and that the CBI is put in charge of the investigation. I do not know what has been there in that report. I do not know whether there is a theory of investigation. But what comes out is that there is an organized gang which has a prior history of leaking papers. It is their business model. And, my lords, when educational excess becomes a business model, the leaked paper is a time-limited commodity. You have it for 2 days or less. You have to maximize profit. And everybody into whose hands it goes, whether it is the paper solver or anybody else, will try to maximize. Yeah.
Anything else now?
Just give me two more minutes, my lords. The fact is that we cannot tell the students that this is a fair exam. We cannot send a signal to the NTA that we approve of what you've done, nor can we tell those who indulge in these practices that, look, you may very well get away with it. Because if these results stand, those post-dated checks may still be cashed. They still have a value. So therefore, my lords, the safer thing to do is, your lordships has already done it. Your lordships has said retest for those 1563. If your lordships were to treat what has happened so far as step one of the exam, everybody above 164 had a chance at a medical seat. Those people, give them a re-examination, because your lordships will see from their own affidavit, which Mr. Huda also pointed out, somebody who's got 720 ends up with 640. Let everybody be accurately measured. That's the least that can be done, my lords. I'm grateful.
Yes,
My lords, just one thing before I go, since the Solicitor General is here and he likes Urdu poetry. The case can be summarized by one verse. तू इधर उधर की बात ना कर, मुझे ये बता काफिला क्यों लुटा, हमें रहजानों से गिला नहीं है, तेरी रहबरी का सवाल है. It is your guidance, it's your
Rehzano, not Rehzano. It's Rehzano.
Rezano ki. Oh, obliged.
My lord, only
Grateful, my lords.
2 minutes, my lord, just I will take, my lord.
Just hear Mr. Harun.
My lord, I'll be grateful if your lordship give me little time and relieve me. Now, my lord, I'm grateful in one sense.
Now tell us, you want a retest, you don't want a retest.
I'm absolutely and unmissed and categorical terms asking for a retest. And my lord, I'm not asking for the,
I thought, you didn't want a retest.
no, my lord. My lord, I said, I'm happy that people, my prepared application. What I have said in the application have been echoed my friend Sanjay Hegde and my friend. Treat this examination as a preliminary examination and conduct a main examination now. And I say, I believe that a JEE main preliminary examination. This, my lord, the issue here is not, we are not conducting a criminal trial. My lord, we are not even conducting a civil trial. The question whether the accuracy of these allegations are absolutely irrelevant. It is a question of, it is a question of common sense. It's a question of prudence. It's a matter, my lord, I may not be mistaken, it's a matter of governance. But, my lord, I rely on your lordship's own judgment to say that these issues involve violation of fundamental rights and therefore justiciable. I have only one difficulty I'm asking myself a question. In Bombay, I always ask a question openly. Here I follow the Supreme Court practice of asking a question to myself. That, my lord, if these issues are justiciable, there are many who are qualified. And can this court ever decide without they being heard? Because these proceedings are not representative proceedings. But, my lord,
What do you have to argue on merits?
no, I am coming to that. My lord, the question is, it's an administrative, it's a question of governance. Large scale, my
You
lord,
said some other matters waiting for you, so you might as well come to the point.
no, I'm exactly on the point. The point is that the integrity of the examination, the credibility of the examination is under doubt. It is not because my lord, leak is proven in Rajkot. It is not because leak is proved.
Apart from what Mr. Huda argued.
No, I am not saying anything which is.
Anything else?
No, my lord, let me.
Submission.
No, my lord, lordship have been very kind to and very patient to Huda. I am not uttering a word which my friend Huda has said. I will not. Only two things, my lord. The other day I said.
What is the first thing out of the two?
No, my lord.
You said two things. What is the first?
First, my lord, only thing which I endorse Huda is as a reference to my lord, the bell chart. And the bell chart before that, I rely on the.
That you have shown us now. You
No,
didn't
I'm not
label
doing
it
that. I'm taking. I will not say anything which somebody has argued. I will say only deal with issues which nobody has addressed. There is a counter affidavit. I'm not relying on anybody else's document except my friends, the government's counter affidavit. In counter affidavit in writ petition civil number 362 of 2024.
What's the point that you
A point I, my lord, is,
formulated?
yes, the point is, this graph shown is ex face incorrect. It is, I am only a commerce graduate, I'm no engineer, but to me, and it find no difficulty to explain. I take your lordship to page 17, page 17 of the counter affidavit. There, my lord, your lordship will find there is a year-wise mark obtained. Your lordship will have a look at, my lord? Yes. Then the total is the 2024 count between 700 to 720, etc., etc. It is the total I have calculated. It comes to 1,42,137. 1,32,137. Now, my lord, they have created a chart. They have given a chart, and that is on the previous page. At page 13, that's a so-called bell curve. It is so microscopic. My lord, here I take your lordship to page 13, detailed analysis. And my lord, let me take your lordship to the entry 520 to 540. 520 to 540. And that is not directly linked to the dot shown above. It is in between. Now, they are given certain figures. 25.7, 23.2, 20, 12.7, and 2.3. And total is, it is 83,009. Your lordship, my lord, it's the figures. I'm going to take your lordship this chart. There's an important issue to be stated, my lord. This chart, 25, 23, etc. The total is 83,900. Going by their chart, the next page, the total number is 1,42,137. And there's a shortage of 58,237. And therefore, my lord, this chart is manifestly, I'm not using very strong expression, incorrect. My lord, the engineer who consulted said something else. My lord, I only quoted Mark Twain: lies, damn lies, and statistics. So, my lord, therefore, this chart, this bell chart, is a fraud.
Okay, thank you.
Then coming to that, my friend took you, your lordship, to the chart of many centers. There, my lord, the bell chart concept. I'm now, my lord. It is not my argument that there is no leak because of the bell chart. It is the argument which my friends have addressed to the court to establish that everything is normal. So this bell chart itself, which shows, here it's all about first impression, what prima facie appears. No question of anything to be proved absolutely. Sikar, anybody can give the explanation that Sikar is an education center, but that explanation will not work with the Rajkot. Rajkot is not it's not a coaching center. But the fact to be considered is, now this leaks has been, the leak industry. The leak industry is worth 25,000, 2,500 crores, because 50,000 seats, medical seats are there, of which 25,000, my lord, on on merit basis. And in the medical colleges, at the well, the capitation fee is anything between 50 lakhs to 1 crore. And therefore, this industry, what they're involved in is an industry worth 2,500 crores. And leakage, the question of examination leakage, that has been happening for many years. I would, my lord, it happened in 2013, it happened in 2014, it happened in 2016, and these stations which we have referred to in Haryana, that was all involved in that. And in 2017, the matter was, this court took the matter came before this court.
Sir, Nidhumar has got the general to what you are arguing. Thank you.
Then, my lord, let me conclude it, my lord, with one or two sentences. Then, my lord, no, let me conclude it. Now, therefore, the question whether the leak which is not in dispute, which occurred in Patna, whether it has reflected in the results elsewhere. For instance, Latur. Latur is not a great educational coaching hub, and that is a question which is not extremely relevant, because they ask any student, and I have filed a petition. I take your lordship to the petition. All the students, the petitioners have scored. All of them have scored more than 650. That they filed an application for implement, and that application.
Yes, Nidhumar, that we got was.
Yes, I will only take your lordship to the marks. The petitioners with the 16 numbers who has put a.
They all got more than 60.
Yes, the numbers. I'm just taking 1 minute to your lordships. 690. Why are they? Then Anuraga Turko 652, and one of the students is here, and she got.
You got the point.
Yes. So therefore, my lord, my conclude.
Yes, yes. Thank you.
Their examination be cancelled, and a re-examination be conducted for those who are eligible. 13 lakhs students.
3.5. Because my first prayer was, my lords, re-NEET. My lords, I'm not repeating what my learned seniors have argued. There was only one judgment for your lordship's assistance, my lord. The observations are very relevant in this Tanvi Sarwal's judgment.
Sarwal's case.
Because, my lords, in lordships came to a conclusion that there were 44 students confirmed with the benefit. In that situation also, your lordships
Out of
were
6 lakhs.
yes, out of 6 lakhs. But your lordships were in a situation to see what could be done in this situation, whether I should cancel the exam or may not wait for the investigation. But in that situation, your lordships have cancelled the exam, certain observations, because ultimately these are medical doctors who are playing with their lives, my lords. They will be.
What is the,
Yes, my lords. 2015 6 SCC
575.
573. Yes. Because I would, if my learned court master could
Just repeat
this much. 2015
and
6 SCC. No, it's 2015 6 SCC 573. No, it's
One of the petitions what we have filed, that is picture attached with the resolution.
because here in this situation, in this matter also, the investigation was in process. Certain reports were before your lordships, and your lordships did come to a conclusion that we don't need to wait for the reports. The very fact that 44 also have benefited. Lordship may just turn to 593 page, minutes. That's para 14.19. This was also, my lords, medical examination, APIMT, my lords, at that time, which CBSE was conducting before the NEET came in, my lords. If I may read, my lords, 14.19. Till date, 44 candidates have been, am I with the lordships, lords? Yes. Till date, 44 candidates have been found to be confirmed beneficiaries in the scheme who have been supplied with answer keys during the examination through electronic devices installed in their vests. Out of 358 suspects, mobile numbers of beneficiaries, 44 have been found to be registered at fake identities. 166 million, all those were respect of the facts which were there in that. Then 15 million, the investigating agency in this report has stated in clear terms, but from the disclosures recorded, it is beyond doubt that the strategy of providing answer keys has been executed by an organized gang with a network spreading over different parts of the country. The Inspector General Haryana, who was present with his team, having been granted the leave, submitted the investigation in full swing is in progress. Now, then I'll take your lordship down, my lords, where your lordships have held para 19, my lords. Segregating only the already 44 identified candidates stated to be the beneficiaries of the unprincipled maneuver by withholding their results for the time being, in our comprehension, cannot be the solution to the problem that confronts all of us.
Not only thereby, if the process is allowed to advance, it would be pushed to the vortex of litigation pertaining thereto in the foreseeable future. The prospects of the candidates would not only remain uncertain and tentative, they would also remain plagued with the prolonged anguish and anxiety involved in the ordeal of court cases. Acting on this opinion would, in our estimate, amount to driving knowingly the students who are not at fault to an uncertain future with their academic career in jeopardy on many counts. Further, there would also be lurking possibility of unidentified beneficiaries. This is important. Candidates stealing a march over them on the basis of the advantages availed by them through the underhand dealings as revealed. Having regard to the facts that the courts involved, sorry,
Yes.
Yes, Milods. Milods, at the top of 595, very relevant, Milods, having regard to the fact that the course involved with time would yield the future generations of doctors for the country who would be in charge of public health, their inherent merit to quality for taking the course can by no means be compromised. Then, Milods, then they talk about the facts of the case, Milods, and then, Milods, around Milods 8, 9 lines from the top. We are conscious of the fact that every examination being conducted by human agency is likely to suffer from some shortcomings, but deliberate inroads into a framework of the magnitude and the nature as exhibited in the present case demonstrate a deep-seated and pervasive impact, which ought to not to be disregarded or glossed over, lest it may amount to travesty of proclaimed mechanism to impartially judge the comparative merit of the candidates partaking therein. Then, Milods, if your lordship may come down to Milods para 21, conscious are we that as a consequence, all India PMT Dental 2015 would have to be annulled, thereby disturbing the time schedule given by this court in so and so judgments, Milods. Though we respectfully subscribe to the calendar of the dates fixed in these cases, more particularly in the textual context thereof, we perceive that in the extraordinary fact situation that confronts us, where the examination involved is vitiated to the core by use of deceitful means and measures to the benefit of some, the consideration of departure from the set time schedule per se uh, would not be a wholesome justification to sustain the otherwise tainted exercise. The time frame fixed by this court in the above case, in our opinion, we are not intended to be inflexibly adhered to in the situation of the kind with which we are seized off. The schedule of dates was fixed so as to streamline and discipline the process of admission by uniform application. So, Milords, in this, Milords, then para 23, We are aware that the abrogation of the exam would result in some inconvenience to all concerned and that some extra time would be consumed for holding fresh examinations with the renewed efforts. This, however, according to us, is the price that stakeholders would have to suffer in order to maintain the impeccable and irrefutable sanctity and credibility of the process of examination, to assess the innate worth and capability of the participating candidates for being assigned inter se merits. So, my lords, in this, your lordships did order re-examination of more than 6 lakh students. My lords, at the cost when 44 was available before them, that yes, they are confirmed beneficiaries. And my lords, the last submission in this, which I am obliged to my learned friend to have shown it, there is a statement line, even if one undeserving candidate, this is in para 20, even if one undeserving candidate, a beneficiary of such illegal mechanism, though undetected, is retained in the process, it would be a denial of claim for more deserving candidates. So when it's para 20, lordships have said that. Because today, the investigation, there are other players in my petition. Your lordships are only considering re-NEET as of now, because other players as of.
Like what?
Yes, Milord. I have said, in the alternative, Milord, if your lordships are not inclined, Milord, there are many students, not only 1563 students, who had been given question papers late. In fact, I have annexed OMR sheets, Milord, in my IA. Milord, 20, Milord, 220 is the time at which I have also annexed the invigilator instructions. They have to put the time. So there are many students. Nobody knew that they would get time frame, Milords, for the. And Milords, there is one student, Milords, who has written to them, Milords. That is an individual grievance, Milords. Should I argue it, Milords, now, or your lordship would consider only the.
We will not be dealing with him. We are not going to entertain individual grievances at all.
Then, Milords, then because
32 is not the remedy for that. Article 32 is not.
No, Milords, because everything was before your lordship. Now the examination has to start. Milords, the counseling has to start. So, Milords, if the OMR sheet, Milords, I have not been given my OMR sheet, Milords, to Milords. That's one of the prayers. So I don't want Milords. I am Milords. Milords, because the.
My lords, I represent.
Only Milords, then if your lordship is not entertaining, at least give me a chance, Milords, to go to the High Court as regards that prayer, Milords. Otherwise, then I'll be, Milords, nowhere in that regard.
Yes.
My lords, I represent students from Varanasi, my lords, and we have a distinct stand on the subject. Apart from supporting what my learned colleagues have stated with respect to the the reconduct of the exam, my lords, I am also challenging the fact that 1563 students, my lords, were asked to sit for a retest on the 23rd of June. According to me, my lords, that classification or computation of 1563 students, my lords, is totally faulty. And I lay good my submissions on this, my lords. I'm in petition number 384, my lords, writ petition number 384. And if my lord comes to the notification dated the 5th of May, 2024, my lords, which is annexure P3 in my petition, my lords, 3.36 at 384 of 2024. This notification, my lords, crystallizes the problem that was faced on the day of the exam. And this is only one single solitary notification by the NTA, my lords, on the evening of the day of the exam, accepting the fact that only one center at Savai Madhopur, involving 120 students, my lords, was the cause for concern. Now, from the 5th of May, till the 6th of June, which is 2 days after the declaration of the results, my lords, from the 5th of May till the 6th of June 2024, there is not a single testimony by the NTA, my lords, in its website, which it keeps updating every day, with respect to students who have been affected at the respective centers. The question I pose unto myself, my lord, is if, as on the date of the exam, the NTA came out with a figure of one center at Savai Madhopur involving 120 students alone, the question I ask unto myself, my lord, is after declaration of results on the 4th of June, how has the NTA come to compute the magical figure of 1563 students? That's one question, my lords. The second question is that I ask unto myself is, should in case this figure of 1563 students as put out by NTA be taken as genuine, then the next question that this honorable court will have to ask of them is, does the 1563 students constitute a particular area in these three names that have been spoken about? Or do the 1563 students, my lords, constitute from all over the country? If they constitute from all over the country, my lords, it is indeed a systemic failure on the part of the NTA, which they have brushed aside under the carpet deliberately, my lords, pulled wool over everybody's eyes. And had it not been for the outpouring of grievances that came from the students on the 4th of June, my lords, even this fact of 1563 would have been suppressed successfully. Now, with respect to the exam restricted to 1563 students, my lords, the question of law that I wish to point out to this honorable court, my lord, is if my lord has only for a moment the National Medical Commission Act.
The petitions challenging that have been dismissed by our court, right?
Sorry, my lords.
Petitions challenging the retest for the 1563
63, yeah.
that they have been rejected by.
Yes, that could not have been done for those 1563 students. And the reason for that is, my lord, section 14. It has not been rejected. It was only said it will be heard later. Notices were issued. It is pending.
Notice on that application challenging the re-examination.
And tagged it along with the main issue, my lord. So the issue is still pending alive, it's simmering, my lord. If my lord now has only for a moment section 14 of the National Medical Commission Act, and my lord may just be permitted to help me. Yes, my lord, just come. And may lord just be permitted to read this? Section 14, my lords. My lord is with me? It says there shall be a uniform national eligibility cum entrance test for admission to the undergraduate and postgraduate so and so exam. I only pause here for a moment, my lords. The fact that the statute specifies that there is only one exam, my lords, for the academic year 24-25. We have already seen two exams, my lords, one held on the 5th of May, 2024, and a retest, my lords, which has been done on the 23rd of June. Now, technically speaking, my lords, if there is one exam that is contemplated by the statute, my lords, and this is the statute that governs this entrance exam, if there is one exam that is contemplated by this statute, my lords, then the very holding of a retest, whether it be 1563 or whether it be n number of students, my lords, the NTA does not have the power, would not have had the power, does not have had the power, my lords, to do a retest for the limited number of students that it has done on the 23rd of June. And insofar as the NTA
Yes.
May it please me. And insofar as the NTA could not have conducted the second exam with respect to the same academic year, my lords, the exam that the NTA has conducted on the 23rd of June, my lords, results of which were declared on the 30th of June, must be set aside, my lords. The third aspect that I wish the third aspect that I wish to bring forth before this honorable court, my lord, is I may not have come as on date, my lords, within the 50th percentile. But then the difficulty is this is of their own creation, my lords. When they introduce the examination system for NEET 24 on the 9th of February 2024, saying that there will be an exam held on the 5th of May, my lords, at no point of time in their initial dossier or notification do they come about that they will open a window. Now, when they opened this window on the 8th of April, giving a limited time frame between the 9th of April to the 10th, just 24-hour window between the 9th of April to the 10th of April to enroll students, as per our estimates, my lords, 24,000 and odd students have got onto the bandwagon of this exam. Now, imagine, my lords, imagine my plight. I'm a 12th class student who's been preparing for this exam right from class 8 onwards. Class 8, class 9, class 10, class 11, and class 12. 5 years of study have been spent for the opening of a window, which I comply, my lords, on up till the 16th of March 2024. What happens subsequently, my lords, is somebody for the betterment or who has some understanding with the NTA gets a window open on the 8th of April for the 9th and the 10th. Unknown to all, this window is open, my lords, and let open at 10 in the night on the 8th of April. 10 in the night of the 8th of April, if a window has been opened, my lords, and 24,000 and odd students have got onto this bandwagon of this exam, my lords, the fact that today I do not have a good rank today is itself reason for the fact that, my lords, I have been trampled upon by 24,000 and odd students who have no business to be in this exam altogether, because they have not shown the they have not shown the vigilance required of them to have filled up the forms when the forms were first brought out up till the 16th of February, 16th of March. That's my submission.
Yes,
My lords, may I seek your permission to also address the issue of question number 19? We are contesting the fact that by deeming fiction, when the NT chose to say that,
matter are you appearing in that?
my lords, item number 4.
Item 4.
Yes, my lords. My lords, my submission is this. A question is set by the NTA that is ex facie ambiguous. The petitioner herein is a hardworking child who has got 711 marks. She is ranked 317. Apart from this ambiguous question, there is only one other question that she has gotten wrong. She was studying for 4 years. When she came across this question, she realized that the two NCERT books say two very different things. She knows
You didn't answer the question at all.
so she chose to not answer the question because outrightly she knows that this is an ambiguous question. And she also knows that the instructions of the question paper are extremely clear. They say that she can only answer one question.
By giving full marks to those who attempted question option 2 or option 4. Candidates who are good candidates who did not attempt the question,
Yes,
they don't get those 4 marks.
they don't. And
If you got the 4 marks, you would have gone up from 711 to 750.
I would in fact be in the top 100 marks of this examination, my lords. And currently I'm at rank 317. And this is going to, if in the top 400 marks, there's a difference of, let's say, 200 odd ranks, my lords can very well imagine what the ranking is going to look like for 108,000 students. This is going to affect the rank list entirely and completely. And my lords, the NTA tries to rely on their information bulletin, which says that if you come across a question that has 2 correct answers, you rely on one. But my lords, what they're forgetting is, I do not know till after the question paper whether they're going to treat the 2019 NCERT edition as the correct one or the one prior to it. I'm not aware of that. So therefore, I cannot make the determination that there are 2 correct answers. Therefore, I have no instruction. I cannot assume that the NTA is going to, after the exam, choose to say that it was right that you could have marked either of those. It is by deeming fiction that they decided that children have come and said that we are using books of our elder siblings and therefore we shouldn't be held responsible for it. We're using old editions. Please give us this grace mark. And then the NTA makes that decision. And therefore, if I cannot rely on any instructions that have been given to me, and I rely on the fact that this is ambiguous, I decide to not attempt the question because there is negative marking. I know that each mark in this question could mean hundreds of ranks for me. And again, I reiterate the fact that I have only one question wrong apart from this ambiguous question in my attempt. I have done extremely well. Just to take my submissions forward, my lord, I will not hold my lords for very long. There is
just one question wrong apart from this one.
Apart from this, my lords. I am at rank 317 after the revised rank has come. I am likely to be in the top 100 ranks if I am given 4 marks and I go up to 715, and there will be others who will also move up in rank. My lords, may I just submit one thing? My primary prayer is that this question should be deleted and therefore everyone will be marked out of 716 marks or out of 179 questions. But in the alternate, my lord, if we were to go by the NTA's own rules, and therefore they are only supposed to consider what is in the newest edition of the NCERT as part of the syllabus, then those grace marks should not be offered. Then they should stick to the fact that only
Option 4 is the correct answer.
that only option 4 is the correct one, and then no one should get grace marks, and therefore the rules that they have themselves set can be met. And my lords, on my primary prayer though, can I just show my lords one judgment of this honorable court from 1983, my lords? My lords, it's 1983 for SCC 309.
What's the name of the case?
Kanpur University versus Samir Gupta, my lords.
At para?
Paragraph 18, my lords. And my lords, I'll briefly state the facts. This was
What is the principle which is laid down?
my lords, the principle was exactly this. This honorable court laid down that if prima facie it is determined that a question is ambiguous, then that question should not be considered as part of the examination, should be deleted, and should not be marked upon at all. This was a question also relating to a medical examination. This case also related to a medical.
Yeah, the question is not ambiguous.
Yes, Your Lordship.
What they
Yes,
could
Lord-
have really,
Lordship.
what they could have really done was, they could have said, look, only option 4 is the correct answer.
Yes, Your Lordship.
Because they got these representations saying that an earlier edition of the NCERT book
Then
has option.
Your Lordship, in 2019 itself, the change has been made, Your Lordship.
Earlier it was there. Earlier, the question, my lord, what they have stated on affidavit, your lordship, very clearly that 9 experts have finalized that answers thereafter. Thereafter, my lord, they have same line. my lord.
But
I mean, arguing the
Let us finish, let us finish.
Yes.
So my lords,
So you are saying that, well, you should be given 4 marks. Alternately, if that is not possible, then delete that whole question for everybody.
yes, my lords. And if alternatively that is also not possible, then
Or
at
treat
least-
option 4 as correct.
yes. Because then
So at least then the number of people who will get that additional marks will be less.
Lords, you can see in the top 70, the people who've got 720, only 44 people will be
Your
delivered.
Lordship, there has been increase of
That is-
297% on rank 1 only because of this bonus marking that has been done by NTA.
My lords are well aware of that. That there is going to be a huge change in the ranking. 44 students who've got 720 is because of this question.
Your Lordship, there might be
44, right?
Yes.
Out of 61.
Your Lordship, if to consider that rank 1 is aiming to go to AIMS Delhi, if there are 50 odd seats, it is very highly not possible for even rank 1 students to get a admission in that seat, Your Lordship.
Specifically for the petitioner here in my lords, it's the difference between whether she gets into the top 2 colleges of this country or no.
So your alternate prayer is that, look, treat only option 4 as the correct answer.
As per your rules, and that is fine.
What do the rules say?
The rules say that the latest edition of the NCERT is going to be treated as the syllabus for NEET.
In the same point, the NCERT syllabus is very clear. It gives a rationalized textbook on its website. It says that the contents which are irrelevant in the present context, the present edition is a reformatted version after carrying out the changes given above. The present textbook uploaded in PDF form are rationalized textbooks. These were rationalized for the session 2022-2023 and will continue from 2023 to 2024. So, Your Lordship, this same fact has been stated in 2019 edition as well. So, if we are going backwards in 28 and considering that a student who has studied in 2018 is giving the examination, so the student has to be aware of the latest developments that are taking place. Also, there have been circulation of fact that the study material provided by all these coaching institute, they themselves are referring to 2018 editions. I have certain copies, but Your Lordship, I'm not going on that fact. But the student has to be aware of the latest development that is taking.
Arguing that either delete this entire question and grade all students out of 716.
Yes.
Alternately, if you're not doing that, then only option 4 should be treated as
Your Lordship, in my case, I have answered the question correctly. I have answered point for the option 4 as the right answer.
I'm saying that treat only option 4 as the
Yes, Your Lordship, because the question is not ambiguous, Your Lordship.
So the difference between your learned friend and you is She didn't answer,
Answer.
the question at all.
Yes, Your
You
Lordship.
answered, but you answered correctly question
Yes, Your
4.
Lordship.
So you're both saying treat question 4 only as a correct
Yes, Your
answer.
Lordship.
In her case, the benefit will be that the number of people who get the 4 marks will be less.
Yes, Your
In your case, you have answered the question.
Yes.
You want the exclusion of those who gave option 2. Right?
Yes.
Let to bring more clarity, my lord. Justice Palat, I have filed an affidavit in this regard and I have clarified.
What did you answer?
I have correctly answered, my lord. I have-
4 or option 2 or 4?
In my new answer paper, the option was 3 was correct. That is, there
No,
are
what did you answer? Which
I-
option did you
correct
give?
answer, correct answer I have answered, my lord. That is a,
Correct means what? There were 2 correct answers now.
no, my lord. Only one correct answer was given in the, my lord, what happened here? Can I clarify? Only one.
Tell us, did you answer option 2 or option 4?
My lord, there are 4 options. I have correct, my lord. Correct.
You have answered 3.
Answer 3. That is correct one. That is correct one.
We are left with
That is, I can.
only one is left now. 1,
What?
2, 3, 4.
4.
She says 4. He says.
My lord,
He said.
My lords,
Leave it to us, we might even come to the conclusion that option 1 was the correct option.
my lord, no, my lord, it is not. I have filed the document.
My lords,
Kindly give me
actually,
2 minutes, my lord,
let me
clarify.
just clarify.
My lord, kindly 2
My
minutes.
lords, this question has different,
My lord,
options are
the
treated as
sequence is
slightly-
different.
because there are different question papers where this same question is a different question number, and then the options are also differently numbered.
Yes.
So therefore, for him, option 4 is option 3.
Yes. My lord,
Hence the confusion.
my lord, can I request, my lord?
The options that will change.
Yes, sir.
depending on
Option
the-
also. Correct.
Yes.
My lord, kindly see here.
So he's on the same.
These are the same one
Correct.
as ma'am there.
But kindly see page number 13 of my additional paperwork, my lord. I have filed the documents on the record.
Maybe 3
I
in
have-
his case.
Yeah.
Question.
4 maybe that.
That's
4 maybe 3. Yes, correct. My lord, kindly see one.
See, both your learned friends have done the arguing for you. Just sail with them. That's
My
all.
lord, only one.
Let them push
Well,
the oars. You'll be
that's-
better.
well,
Happier. You might actually
My lord,
get a
deletion,
problem for
my
your
lord,
case.
deletion would not be with, my lord.
Both your learned young friends have made very well.
Well, can I request only one thing, well, page number 19 and 20, we
You
have,
might spoil your case and their case as well.
no, this page number 19 and 20, my lord, we have filed the NCRT textbook also, where it has been mentioned that which is correct one. In 2023, my lord, the correct one is mentioned. Therefore, my lord, the answer which was given earlier, first time published, is the correct answer.
Same, my lords. It's the same argument.
Same argument. That question 4 was the option 4. is correct.
It is in my case,
I don't know. Option 3.
yes, my
That's
lord.
what he's also then identical to what you are.
Yes. And my lord, ranking is very important factor, my lord. We have, our petitioners have got 700, 680, 682.
So this question 90 is a problem. And these are all genuine students because, see, the point is, both your young friends have made a very powerful argument that they say that look, the instructions are that you must go by the latest version. Now, option 4 is admittedly, according to you, the correct version. You pick up that as your key.
Correct.
Now, you decided to accept option 2 based on the fact that the 2019 edition of the NCERT book had what is option 2. They are saying that, look, option 4 being the correct answer, both of them they are arguing basically on the same line. The first learned Ms. Suriti Chaudhary, she argues that, look, though I didn't answer it, don't give those who answered option 2 full mark.
The
Other, your other, ma'am, what's your name?
Isha Singh.
Isha is arguing that, look, I answered that. How can you give somebody who answered option 2 full mark?
I've understood. My lord, the
There, I think they may have a point.
They have the fallacy will be this, my lord. In the first argument, those who have not answered. My lord, incidentally, she happens to be a candidate who is falling within first 100, possibly.
There's
But
a possible answer to what Suriti argued, which is that if you don't answer the question, the assumption is that you don't know the answer.
exactly, otherwise this
That's the only
benefit
thing
will
against
go.
what she argued.
Otherwise, this benefit
That
will go
She
to.
argued that, look, as a responsible student, I found that there was an ambiguity, that question 2 and question 4, rather than get a negative mark, I decided not to answer.
I have understood, my lord, that submission, that argument of my learned friend. It's a very catchy argument. But suppose, my lord, she happens to be having 700 plus. But suppose I am having only 50 marks. And I did not answer because I did not know the answer. Then, my lord, if we go by the general rule that then delete all the answers or those who were very confident and knew about the new rule.
Or her alternate argument, the first argument is that delete the entire question.
Yes.
The second alternate argument is that even if you allot questions, don't give me any marks. He said, I'm out on that question because I didn't attempt it. I didn't know. But give 4 marks only to those who gave option 4 is the correct answer. Because her argument is, okay, I don't get anything in this. But by giving 4 marks to those who give option 2, you are actually increasing the number of people who got full marks for that.
I'll just try.
That is the area which the
I'll
alternate argument is
I'll-
something which is very important. What they've argued.
I'll try and answer. Manoj.
And even, my lord, they have changed the answer also subsequently.
And that is made very clear in the case of Ms. Isha's client, because there it's unlike the first case, her client answers that question and answers correctly. So both these candidates will, if they are right, then the number of people above them will come down
Yes,
drastically. And
What we have considered is this, Manoj.
that's the point we have to consider. We'll hear you on this. That's the one point we'll have to consider.
Manoj, but otherwise, Manoj, my immediate answer is, we are not dealing with a situation where out of 2, one answer is wrong and one answer is.
So why did you
right.
actually, why did NTA eventually come to the conclusion that we will give full marks for option 2 also?
The reason is both were otherwise correct answers, the additions changed. So the confusion was logical.
Not be. Scientifically,
But-
my lord,
Scientifically,
it's not
it cannot be
possible. How
allowed.
can you say atoms, most elements of the atom are stable, and then also say all are stable? It'll either be most
What
or
is the question? What is the question?
my lord, I'll just read it out. My lord's question number 19 says,
We take it right to the question on tort or criminal procedure, right? So we'll be able to understand it better.
my lord, it's actually, in terms of English construction, it is very straightforward.
Even though.
2 statements. Statement 1, just read it.
Statement 1, my lord, says that
Rashmi Mishra is very confident of this. Both of us don't have that confidence on this, but we'll see for the.
my lord, statement 1 says atoms are electrically neutral as they contain equal number of positive and negative charges. To this, there is no problem, my lords. This is fine. Statement 2 says atoms of
What is the
each
question?
element.
If you can read the question, please.
Question.
Oh,
That's the
oh,
question.
that's
This is
the
the
question. Oh.
Statement 2, atoms of each element are stable and emit their characteristic spectrum. Now, my lords, the interesting part is that as per the old NCRT, the answer is atoms of each element are stable and emit characteristic spectrum. As per the new NCRT, it says atoms of most of the elements are stable and emit characteristic spectrum. Now, if a student is looking at this and they know that the new one says most and the old one says each, it is not possible that both are correct. It can either be each or it can be most. Now,
I think scientifically, the radioactive elements are not stable.
Therefore, they have given correct answer also.
The answer key said option 4 is therefore the correct answer.
yes.
And
Your Lordship, this was edited, this new edition came into 2019 itself.
Yes.
That atoms of most.
Addition. I've understood the problem.
But students, Mr. Solicitor, students are expected to read the new edition or the old edition?
New edition. That's the rule.
That's the rule. Right?
That's
Yes,
So if
that's
the student relies on an old edition, how can that
he
stick with the
is also, my lord, not to be faulted. That's
No, but your rule says that you have to read the latest edition. Right?
23 says only item.
So by giving marks to option 2, you are in that sense going against your own rule, which says you must read the latest edition.
it's a
let me examine. I have understood. my lord,
Look
the
at it,
question. There
because
is
a
a
lot of students will be affected in the.
Lord, the 9 lakhs have given answer 4 to be correct.
Let's,
38,000 changes.
See, those who have given 4 as correct are fine.
928 and
427.
424 lakh 20,000.
Just tell us, Mr. Solicitor, what are the figures?
Lord, only as per the old book, the candidates who have given answer is 4,20,773.
That is option 2.
yes.
And option 4,
And new 9,28,379.
9,28,000.
379.
So if you take only option 4 as the correct answer, these 9,28,379 will get full marks for that question.
Which we've already.
So 4 lakh, these they have already got.
Internal
But 4,20,000 students will get,
From the right list.
either
Negative.
0 or a negative mark.
Minus.
Negative mark.
Minus
They will get the negative mark.
5 marks difference.
That's why in
They'll make a
totality,
difference of 5 marks.
5 marks.
So they will lose their 4 correct marks
And
and they'll get one negative mark.
Your Lordship, what is surprising?
My lords, therefore, when we want to find an equitable solution. Sorry?
Lord, received, I'm sorry. We received representations from poor families that we used our siblings' book or we didn't have new editions, etc., etc.
Surprising is the older edition, which may have the newest edition 2019 already has that the most elements are stable and embed characteristic spectrum. But what is surprising is the old booklet, that is 2018 or backward, is not even available in the market, Your Lordship.
No, that is available.
I tried to find out what is the older version. From where will I get it? The books are not available. If a child is reading their older siblings' books, so I don't know when did they pass out.
The books are passed down, my lords. That's the reason, and most importantly, it's the reason that a lot of there may be sentences.
Older versions
The
are.
older version.
I will not join issue. They have some case, we will examine.
If I am a student from EWS and I have the
Obviously.
The problem is, suppose we accept their argument and we say that anybody who answered option 2 shouldn't get any marks. None of those students are here.
Problem.
My lords,
And-
we
and-
just
and-
say
It would reshuffle
5 marks. 5 marks, a very substantial difference.
4 plus 1.
Somebody who make, because 44 out of 61 students,
And those
get
who have,
all those 44 students will not only go down from 720, they'll get from 720, they'll go some to 715.
yes.
and those who have not answered, not because they were brilliant, but because they were not answering, they would be benefited.
In the sense that those who answered
Then-
option 2 will go out of the frame.
My lords, if
Then
we
it
were
may
to
be
do
related.
this equitably,
Both answer. Mr. Solicitor, the way your answers are framed, answer 2 is both statement 1 and statement 2 are correct. Right? That means both are correct. 4 is statement 1 is correct, but statement 2 is incorrect. You couldn't have treated both as correct answers.
Yes, Your Lord.
One and
Your Lord.
2 and 4. 2
Let
and
me,
4.
let me examine.
Your Lord.
Just examine. Because
And
you have to take either option 2 or option 4. How can we
Both
choose
can't
the
be
best one?
true.
Both can't. They can't survive. They can't exist.
prima facie, that appears.
they can't. My lords,
With my lord's kind permission,
in item 3. It can vary from.
with my lord's kind permission, may I beg to appear in item number 3.21?
One of them is mutually
Yes.
Yes, one is saying yes, other is saying no. It is clear case of the ruling out. Sir.
Your Lordship, the provisional answer key had option 4 as the right answer.
Right.
It was only subsequent to the challenge by 13,000 odd students that the expert committee tend to change the answer.
because of the older edition.
Yes, Your
it's by
And the
deeming.
answer, the change is not because 2 is also correct,
No,
No.
but because 2 was what was shown in
Yes.
an older edition.
yes.
May be correct also. We do not know. Right now, I can't say.
Your Lordship.
My lords,
It's
science.
technically, my lord, it's not our subject. Maybe it is correct. It may be.
The experts,
Yes. Do we have the report of the expert also?
Mr. Solicitor, did the experts say that actually 2 is the correct answer?
I have not seen. I
That's
must,
what they said.
Initially, first answer key has shown option 2 only correct, sir. It is the difference of the question number. And later on, 2 options of the revisions.
All right, now
My
you have
lord.
heard everybody on this.
Lord, there is
side.
one, Lord, there is
have
one,
the
yeah.
expert committee.
Let's see the expert.
My lord, there is one issue of Meghalaya students where 2 centers, the papers were wrongly distributed. And then by the time the right question papers were distributed, around 40 to 1 hour time was lost. Now, in their written submission, the NTA says at 17 July written submission at page 21, paras 21, my lord, they say that factual reports from city coordinators of Joy and Riboi, which are in Meghalaya, have established that loss of time was compensated for all appearing candidates. Lord, this is incorrect because in my case, these students have come up, they made representation that loss of time was there.
Just one
And
second.
3.34, Lord. I'll just.
Lord, separately considered, but I'll examine.
My lords,
Sawal. Okay. Both answers cannot be correct. As a layman, let me.
No, the statement two can't be correct because the radioactive element is not stable.
Yes, Your Lordship.
So the answer, correct answer would have to be 4.
And it's submitted to 3.
Yes, yes.
Very from paper to
So possibly the earlier books mentioned a wrong answer.
They mentioned the wrong answer.
That's.
And it can't be that both answers are treated as correct because there is an internal inconsistency between option 2 and option 3. One can't survive with the other.
Exactly. That's
Both
what I
can't
say.
survive together.
That as a layman, I feel both can't coexist. Both can't be true.
You see, normally you take two options as correct, where possibly both options are the correct answer. Now, in a situation like this, there is obviously an internal inconsistency between option 2 and 4. Both can't survive together. That's the problem. But I'll tell you what is worrying us also. I mean, that now 4,20,000 students have got the benefit of what you have done.
And based upon the book printed and continued to remain
There
printed,
you don't have much of a case because your rules say that when you have to
I
go by the
think there is,
Yes, sir. Yes, Your Lordship.
I think there is no such rule, my lord. I'm told, subject to verification.
we just check
There is
that
no
out. You
such
can also sit with the officers in the evening and
Yes,
tell us.
I will.
Manoj, I appeared in 3.30.
In
I have
3.34, my lord, in the,
To make a short submission.
where the writ petition was
This
filed
is not
by
the
the
issue.
students,
3.34,
3.34, my lord, if my lord may kindly hear. The students of Jovai and Riboi,
So you got the wrong question paper.
wrong question paper, then they were, right question papers were circulated, which resulted in a time lag of
But
40
according to the NTA, the loss of time was compensated. No?
Lord, that is what I wanted to show. We were not given any compensatory marks, nor we were permitted to appear in the re-examination which was conducted for 1,563 students. And if my lord may kindly have my additional document, IA number 133878 of 2020.
Said,
Lord,
Mr.
Lord,
Solicitor, this is a slightly different case. You can take instruction.
Manoj, I am 3.20.
3.34, my learned solicitor.
Manoj, I am.
I am appearing 3.3 and
3.16.
3.16.
I want to show two pages. Just Manoj.
Now, what is your grievance?
It is regarding Manoj that we say that a re-NEET should be happen, Manoj.
Sorry?
A retest should be happen, Manoj. Grievances that Manoj.
On what?
On Manoj, I have 2 pages, Manoj.
Now,
My IA.
all,
They are
tell us how many lawyers are asserting a retest should be happening now? No, apart from those who have argued. So those who are saying a retest should be happening, give us a 1-page, half-page written submission on why the retest should happen. Email it to the court master by this evening. All right. Those who are saying a retest should happen, not those who have argued in the court, right? Those who have argued in the court, you need not submit your written submissions. Those who additionally want to supplement half a page, you can give us.
just one. There is one.
I say one thing more.
Manoj.
All right.
There's one graph.
With my last kind permission, I'm in 3.21.
There is one graph I want to show, Manoj.
So what graph?
The graph of the students, comparative graph of what was the test results, Manoj, between 2023 and 2024. There is a graph which, Manoj, the graph earlier was that it achieves a peak and it dies down, Manoj.
Right.
Now it is not like that. It is like it is achieving a peak, then it is going like this, Manoj.
Right.
Then coming to
that he showed. Your
Yes.
friend showed.
And then, Manoj, there is one also secondary argument, Manoj. There was a news report which says there was CCTV missing, CCTVs which were there, which should be there, were missing. There were unguarded strong rooms, and which was found in an independent review of this, Manoj, by a third party, Manoj. So what was happened, Manoj? It is like 40% of the exam centers. There were no CCTVs. There were no guard
What
at the
point has been made? All right,
I will
we
just
now
read
follow
it
the-
one.
Lordship, permit me to mention something
Third
more,
party
something
review,
more
my
than
lord.
this.
Why
Lordship,
don't you mention, why don't you mention it in your
Lordship,
submission in half a page?
Lordship, today morning itself, I received some documents from my client. I did not file anything, but this is something more than that. I appeared in the examination. As per the matching of the answer sheet sent by the NTA, I obtained 561 marks. When NTA sent a result to me, then I obtained only 353 marks. When, as per my Lord's order, they uploaded the entire result, I obtained 461 marks. That is much more than that, my lord.
Matter.
No, it is not listed, my lord, because today itself I received all these things. So please, my lord, I have this, my lord.
Sir,
I
you
have
have not
this,
even
my
filed
lord.
the matter.
So
It's only today morning.
You have not even filed the matter. What do we take cognizance?
I could not file because itself
File
today
that.
morning I received all
Sir,
these things.
You file something, you then deal with it. You can't just take up matters like this.
Miller's
These are 3-4 papers, lordship, if may see.
Look, anybody who has.
And I
individual-
belongs to a
individual-
OBC candidate, my lord.
Anybody who has individual grievances, you may communicate your grievances. What we'll do is, we are hearing the broader issue here. Any individual grievances, we'll dealing and we'll hear that separately, you know.
Miller's
Did-
3.5.
One prayer is left out in item number 3.16. I have prayed, first prayer is re-need. Alternate prayer is, my lordship's forensic background check of the successful candidate.
All right, that will.
Miller's 3.25 is
There's
little
a lot
different
of
because we are saying that
difficulties in
the no
entire examination.
re-need should not happen.
Sorry,
This is for a group of students from Maharashtra, Miller's 3.25,
and you are saying there should be no retest.
no re-need. Yes,
So
Miller's.
you have to be on this side.
Yes,
So
yes.
what is your argument with the way as to
The
apply
main
today?
argument is that this will create severe hardship to the students' hard work who have put in this effort not only since 8th till 12th, which is almost 4 to 5 years. Many students have also taken drop and prepared for this examination. And also